As a fatal blow to the Congress in the Hill State, former Chief Minister Mukul Sangma left the party along with 11 other MLAs and joined the All India Trinamool Congress. As per inputs, Mukul Sangma along with 11 other Congress legislators submitted their letter to Speaker Meghalaya last evening announcing their merger with the TMC. Now, Sangma is set to brief the media today to officially announce the move. Now, amongst those who joined the TMC, along with Sangma, are all 8 party legislators from Garo Hills and 4 legislators from Khasi Jaintia Hills. Now, the leaders who deserted the party from Garo Hills are Rangsakona MLA Zenith Sangma, Mahindraganj MLA Dikanchi Shira, Ampati MLA Miyani Shira, Salmanpara MLA Winasan D. Sangma, Mendipathar MLA Marthon D. Sangma, Tikri Kila MLA Jimmy D. Sangma and Chokpot MLA Lazarus Sangma. Now, MLAs from Khasi Jaintia Hills region who left the Congress include Nongthamai MLA Charles Pingrop, Umroy MLA George B. Lingdo, Mausanram MLA Hima Shangpliang and Sutnga Saipung MLA Shitlang Pale. Now, the switch over has dealt a near-fatal blow to the Congress, which faces an existential threat in a state which was in more than one way its last bastion in the northeast. All right, there's a big development coming in at the minute in what comes as a fatal blow to the Congress in the Hill State. Former Chief Minister Mukul Sangma left the party along with 11 other MLAs and joined the All India Trinamool Congress. As per inputs, Mukul Sangma along with 11 other Congress legislators submitted their letter to Speaker Meghalaya last evening announcing their merger with the TMC. Sangma is set to brief the media today to officially announce the move. Along those who joined the TMC, along with Sangma, are 8 party legislators from Garo Hills and 4 legislators from Khasi and Jaintia Hills. All right, for more on the story, I am joined by our news editor, Naboran Goswami, live from the newsroom. Now, Naboran, this is indeed a crippling blow to the Congress. So what does that mean to the grand old party and then, of course, to the TMC as well?
Well, Aaron, massive development. It's a near fatal blow to the Congress in Meghalaya, ending all speculations. Former Chief Minister Mukul Sangma has finally decided to join the Trinamool Congress, not only alone but along with 11 other MLAs. How this is significant, Aaron, is there were 17 MLAs in the Meghalaya Legislative Assembly, 12 now joining TMC. The Congress has been reduced to single digits from being the main opposition party. The Meghalaya was the Congress's last hope in a way, in more than one ways as far as the Northeast is concerned, but all of a sudden they are just reduced to 5. The Congress is yet to officially acknowledge the fact, but well, as per well-informed sources and the MLAs led by Mukul Sangma had submitted a letter to Speaker Meghalaya last evening, and it's just a formality right now. We have a press conference scheduled post 1 p.m. today, and at this point in time we'll be joined by Northeast Live Editor-in-Chief Wasbir Hussain. Wasbir, massive development. Is Meghalaya heading towards what is being called now Congress Mukt?
Absolutely, Nabarun. Good morning, viewers. This is indeed a big development as far as the northeastern politics is concerned. 12 of the 17 Congress MLAs defecting to the Trinamool Congress yesterday. That is indeed a big development. And this revolt or coup has been led by former Chief Minister Dr. Mukul Sangma. In fact, the irony is that the Congress has been the main opposition party in Meghalaya under the leadership of Dr. Mukul Sangma, and suddenly, overnight, it is the Trinamool Congress, which is the main opposition party in Meghalaya, again under the leadership of Dr. Mukul Sangma. That is the irony. Let us give a brief background to this development. In the last elections held in 2018, the Congress emerged as the largest single party, winning 21 seats. The NPP won only 19 seats, 2 seats short of the Congress. But while the Congress was caught napping, the NPP managed to cobble together a coalition of regional parties, including, of course, the BJP, and managed to form the Meghalaya Democratic Alliance government. Ever since, it is the NPP-led government in Meghalaya under the leadership of Chief Minister Conrad Sangma. And after that, the Congress started playing the role of the main opposition party under the leadership of Dr. Mukul Sangma. But things came to a head in August when the Congress High Command appointed Vincent Pala as the Pradesh Congress president. In fact, the problem started with Dr. Mukul Sangma openly saying that he was not consulted in the appointment of the PCC president. That means if this is true, that means the Congress High Command did not consult the CLP leader while appointing the party president. So things came to a head. But in October, Mukul Sangma and Vincent Pala, they met Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi in New Delhi. And a lot of people thought at that time that the things were patching up and that Mukul Sangma will not move into the Trinamool Congress, but that has not happened. Now, yesterday, what happened, the sequence of events is that Dr. Mukul Sangma and 11 other Congress legislators and the entire Congress leadership, legislators in the Garo Hills, 8 of them total, and four from the Khasi Hills, they given a signed letter to Meghalaya Assembly Speaker Medba Lingdo saying that they are switching sides. So Megba Lingdo, of course, has not commented yet. But one of the defectors, one of the former Congress legislators, Mr. Sang Piang, has already told journalists that yes, they have joined the Trinamool Congress yesterday. In fact, he is the only leader who has been quoted in the media by name, that is Mr. Sang Piang, who is among the 12 who have joined the Trinamool Congress, to have confirmed the development. In fact, Trinamool Congress leaders in New Delhi have been confirming this development since yesterday night, and Notice Live had also broken this story late yesterday night on our digital platforms. And now, of course, we are breaking this big story, and this is, as you said, Nabarun, this is a big blow to the Congress, not just in Meghalaya, but in the entire Northeast. In 2014, when the BJP came, they were planning a Congress move Northeast. Now it seems that the Trinamool Congress has also joined in the effort to cleanse the Congress from the Northeastern region. This is extremely significant because this development comes at a time when the Trinamool Congress is at loggerheads with the BJP in Tripura, trying to emerge as the main opposition party, and that seems to be part of the game plan, Navarone.
Wasbir, what is more significant in the run-up to the developments when there were reports that Mukul Sangma may join TMC or Mukul Sangma may still desert the Congress, form his own party, form a new regional front? The talks were centered around, well, a few MLAs only from Garo Hills may join Mukul Sangma. But what we see here is that not only 8 MLAs from Garo Hills, but 4 from Khasi Jaintia Hills are also in his camp. That's a big achievement for the former Meghalaya Chief Minister, isn't it, Wasbir?
Absolutely, that's a very vital point you have raised, Nabarun. That only goes to explain the pan-Meghalaya appeal of Dr. Mukul Sangma, because he cannot be considered only as a Garo leader, claiming the allegiance or enjoying the confidence of the MLAs, party MLAs from Garo Hills. The fact that 4 of the Congress legislators from the Khasi and Jaintia Hills have decided to side with him indicates that he is a leader of the entire state. He has been considered as a pan-Meghalaya leader. In fact, Nabarun, it will be not doing justice to Mukul Sangma to say that he is a leader only from Meghalaya. He has been a tall leader of the Congress party from the entire northeastern region. And in fact, if it is true that if the Congress High Command indeed did not consult him while appointing Vincent Pala, they dug their own grave, and they have seen the results today. Mukul Sangma revolting and joining the Trinamool Congress, not just himself, along with 11 other legislators. Now, there were 17 legislators. As of now, as of yesterday, there were 17 legislators in the Congress party in Meghalaya, giving it the status of the main opposition party. Now, if 12 of them have joined the Trinamool Congress, that means the Congress in Meghalaya is left with just 5 legislators, which is extremely shocking. Now, a lot of people might say that who is Mukul Sangma revolting against? Of course, the answer is extremely clear. He is revolting against the leadership of the Congress. He is revolting against Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi. In fact, that is a huge slap on the leadership of Congress, leadership there's a huge affront to the Congress leadership of Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi. In fact, only yesterday, three leaders have joined the Trinamool Congress. That is three-time MP Kirti Azad, Ashok Tanwar, who was supposed to be close to Rahul Gandhi, and Pawan Verma, who fell out with Nitish Kumar, the JDU leader. Pawan Verma, a former diplomat, he had also joined the Trinamool Congress yesterday. So this seems part of a calculated strategy on the part of the Trinamool Congress to strengthen itself, to get its footprint across the entire country, starting, of course, with the northeastern region. Yes, it is true that Trinamool Congress Supremo Mamata Banerjee had made a 3-day tour of Goa, but Goa, the Trinamool Congress doesn't have much of a base. But yes, they're definitely trying to make a dent in Tripura, where the civic poll elections are going on as we speak. And that has been a huge prestige issue. And now we are seeing Meghalaya, and of course they have made a dent in Assam as well by bagging Susmita Dev, who has quit the Congress and joined the Trinamool 2 months ago. So these are the developments which is going in favor of the TMC at this point in time, Navarone.
Absolutely, the Congress's loss is the TMC's gain in the region. We'll talk more about it, Vasbir, when we go to Tripura, where the all important civic body polls, urban local body polls are underway. But Vasbir, coming to Congress once again, yet again the leadership, the ICC, Sonia Gandhi, the top brass of the Congress have once again failed themselves in one more state. We have seen this in Punjab. We are now seeing this in Meghalaya. Is the Congress not learning its lessons?
Congress has certainly not learnt its lesson. That is what it appears. It is very, very clear now. But let me tell you, Dr. Mukul Sangma joining the Trinamool Congress, or for that matter, Dr. Mukul Sangma quitting the Congress, now since 2004, since the advent of the BJP, or since the advent of Narendra Modi in 2014, 7 Congress chief ministers have left the party. The last one is Mukul Sangma. Prior to him, it was Captain Amrinder Singh of Punjab. Then Vijay Bahuguna, Chhattisgarh, Ajit Jogi, the late Ajit Jogi, also from Chhattisgarh, quit the Congress, SM Krishna, Narayan Rane, Giridhar Gamang. So these are some of the Congress chief ministers who have quit the Congress and joined other political parties. Mukul Sangma is the latest in the line of the Congress top leaders, Congress regional satraps who have left the party and joined left the Congress and joined other parties. So this clearly reflects on the poor leadership qualities of the Congress. That means this is a clear reflection on the regional satraps that have lost faith in the leadership of the AICC, or for that matter the Congress party, the grand old party. So that is the background in which Mukul Sangma has left the party. Of course, there were rumors that he would join the Trinamool Congress from quite some time, and there were rumors that he had gone to Calcutta. He had been meeting Abhishek Banerjee, the number 2 in the Trinamool Congress. He has yet to meet Mamata Banerjee, but that may happen anytime soon. But this is a turn of events, as you said, the internal dissensions within the Congress and the inability of the AICC leadership or the Congress leadership to hold the party together.
Vasbir, we'll talk in detail about the state of affairs within Meghalaya Congress, but before that, let's listen into what former minister and senior Congress leader Amparin Lingdo had to say. Our correspondent Roger Sangma spoke to Amparin Lingdo just a short while back. Let's listen in to the conversation first.
Ma'am, a very big jolt to the Congress as we are hearing that 12 MLAs have left the Congress party and joined the TMC. What do you have to say about that?
Firstly, surprised to see that this kind of a so-called movement is happening in the party. Now we have to be very calm and cautious. We don't want to again be victims of rumors. So we'll wait for that 1 o'clock mark. Let us see whether these people, is it true or not true, because you see, we have no information. And I don't see why this is happening. But if it happens, then we regroup. We will regroup. We will look at what is going on. We will see what needs to get done next. You see, this entire revolt seems to, internal bickering, and there's not even a revolt. Who are they revolting against? Because, we are not in office. We don't have government in hand. So the word revolt probably is not an apt phrase even to apply here.
Right.
Now, whether it is a continuation of some more exodus because our party is going through a slum. So I read it very positively. You will be able to now evaluate the sincerity of leaders in these troubled times. Okay, so
Right, ma'am.
when crisis happens and climaxes unfold before us, that's when we have to evaluate our leaders. People of Meghalaya are watching. Let us see where this will lead to, because we cannot just panic. As much as the people of the state of Meghalaya, we are equally surprised to see new names in that list. Now we will handle it. We cannot just give up. We are leaders. We are leaders. We have been elected by our people. Just because the politics gets tough and rough, that does not mean we lose our vision and our sight. We have a big responsibility on our shoulder. Make sure that the interests of the people of Meghalaya are protected to the hilt. Too many issues unfolding before us. Burning issues, and leaders have all the time to plan an exodus from a party. What is it that they intend to achieve while going to another party in such a period of unrest? Look at the COVID scenario, look at the border issues, look at the economics of our state. So people of Meghalaya will evaluate us. And I can only say that even if we get reduced to a small number of 5, we are still the voice of the people, and we go from there.
Right, ma'am. Ma'am, another question. Recently, you had gone to meet the AICC bosses in New Delhi. So, what transpired in the meeting? Because everyone thought that since Dr. Mukul had attended the meeting, everything was settled. But clearly, he's not happy, and now he's taken the step.
Now, you see, when a party of that level met, and there seems to be a resolution, a mood of consolidation, a mood of let's get our act together, let's look at the issues of the state first. Let's ensure that issues of the state are not compromised by our personal whim and fancy. So that meeting seems to just have not worked. Now, having seen that, it doesn't matter. Surely we can still rebuild the Congress brick by brick. Here is a golden opportunity for all who are aspiring to be leaders to protect the state. See, so much of this has been going on in the party.
In Ningdo, they're in a way still in a denial mode, but also acknowledging, also saying that the Congress will stay, the Congress is here to stay, the show will go on, this is a chance to rebuild the party, probably chance for new leaders. But do you think this habit of quote-unquote being in a denial mode has caused the Congress dear once again?
Nabarun, this is the story of the Congress party. They have been on a denial mode instead of confronting. When there was a difference between Vincent Pala, the president, and Mukul Sangma, everybody, a lot of people thought the best strategy was to deny that there was any differences. But Mukul Sangma has been almost openly saying that he was not consulted, and then it took a long time for the AICC to have set up that meeting between Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, Vincent Pala, and Dr. Mukul Sangma in New Delhi. So everybody then thought that thing has been resolved. But now again, only on 18th of November, to be precise, KC Venugopal and Manish Chatrat, who is the Congress observer or Congress in charge for Meghalaya, they met. along with Dr. Mukul Sangma. And therefore, some of the reports they are now quoting Manish Chatrat as saying that we are extremely surprised because only 5 days ago we had met and everything said was appeared to be hunky-dory as far as the Meghalaya Congress is concerned. But that is not so. This kind of a denial mode has caused the party dear elsewhere, and this sort of a denial mode is living in or staying on a denial mode has caused the party dear in Meghalaya this time round. But what one significant thing, Nabarun, is the fact that in the last by-elections held on the 30th of October, the Congress has got the verdict of the people as well. Perhaps that was the nail in the coffin, because that perhaps made Mukul Sangma firm up his decision, even if he was 50-50 with his decision on whether to leave the Congress or not. The Congress's debacle in the by-election may have enabled him to firm up his mind to leave the party, because the NPP and its allies have made a clean sweep of all the seats in Meghalaya. So that was perhaps a barometer, that was perhaps a reflection of the people's mood, that they were not in favor of the Congress, at least for the time being. So if that is the case, that may have enabled the Mukul Sangma to take a firm decision and leave the party.
Do you also think, Vasbir, maybe somewhere down the line the Congress of late, the Meghalaya Congress of late had taken Mukul Sangma for granted, probably thought there is no option for Mukul Sangma at this moment? Probably there was a thought process that joining the TMC in a state like Meghalaya would be a bit far-fetched. Do you think that could have also played a role in the Congress's complacency?
Absolutely. A couple of days ago, a senior leader of the Congress party in Meghalaya, former minister and MLA, Miss Ampareen Lingdo, who was on the program a short while ago, Miss Ampareen Lingdo was talking to a journalist in Shillong. She said, leaders may go, but we have to carry on. The show must go on. That is the tenor, or that was the long and short of what she said. Leaders will come, leaders will go, but the party has to survive. So, somehow, somewhere down the line, a lot of people thought that Mukul Sangma may not have an option. Trinamool Congress has no base, absolutely. That is also a fact that Trinamool has no base in Meghalaya as of now. They may suddenly overnight they may have 12 legislators. That's a different ball game. And whether the speaker, what kind of a decision is the speaker, Metbal Lingdo, going to take? Whether they will be booked under the anti-defection law. This is a matter that may even see a legal battle in the days ahead. But other than that, the Trinamool Congress has no base in Meghalaya. But perhaps that is the reason why maybe some of the Congress leaders thought that Mukul Sangma may not have any other option other than joining the BJP. But that has not happened. Mukul Sangma has decided to join the TMC. So some sort of arrogance or complacency may have crept into at least a section of the Congress leaders in Meghalaya and as well as the AICC Nabarun.
Vasbir, before we go for a break, well, there have also been reports or speculations rather, opinion pieces, speculations in a section of media in Meghalaya is that, well, if Mukul Sangma leaves the party, if Mukul Sangma leaves the Congress, then probably Vincent Pala, under Vincent Pala, the Congress can even work together with the NPP in the state. Do you think that's a bit too far-fetched, given the fact that NPP Chief Comrade Sangma is closest to the BJP and the NDA, which goes back to the days of the late Purno Sangma?
Well, you see, the NPP has also tried to establish itself as a pan-Northeast political party. The manner in which Comrade Sangma, the NPP leader, is campaigning or is trying to, strengthen the party in Manipur ahead of the elections. Manipur, we are having the elections in Manipur less than 6 months from now, and we are seeing Comrade Sangma already making two lengthy visits to Manipur and and trying to boost the morale of his party cadres. And several of the people have also joined the NPP in Manipur. And there are reports that the NPP is planning to contest 42 seats in Manipur. So I would consider Vincent Pala, whether the Congress under Vincent Pala would try to, snatch people from other parties. I think this is a bit far-fetched at this point in time. But what we cannot miss is the fact that the Trinamool under the leadership of Mamata Banerjee, after their massive victory at the West Bengal elections in April-May, trying to establish the party's footprint across the country. In fact, these developments took place yesterday. Mukul Sangma and company joining the Trinamool took place yesterday yesterday when Mamata Banerjee was meeting BJP top gun and Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi. And a lot of people asked Trinamool Congress leader Mamata Banerjee whether she was going to meet Sonia Gandhi. She said, why should I meet Sonia Gandhi every time? So that was a clear snub to the Congress. Trinamool, in fact, we all know that Mamata Banerjee was having a very, very cordial relationship with Sonia Gandhi. But now, yesterday, when journalists asked her whether she also plans to meet Sonia Gandhi, she said, why should I meet Sonia Gandhi or any, for that matter, everybody, every time I come to Delhi? So that was kind of a remark made by Mamata Banerjee in New Delhi yesterday. And this seems to be a part of the Trinamool's plan to back all non-Congress opposition across the country and emerge as the main opposition party in the country. And towards achieving that plan, Trinamool Congress has definitely set its eyes on the northeastern region. Tripura is a fine example. They have already taken a very, very vocal and firebrand Congress leader, Susmita Dev, who was very, very close to Rahul Gandhi and the AICC in the month of August. And now we have seen they have got 12 MLAs from Meghalaya and Kitty.